How's it going, TEG MOA? This is Tim Bice, your general manager. Just a couple of quick updates. This is our first video that we've ever done in place of an all-team meeting. So we're pretty excited about this. Big shout out to Britt, who filmed and directed and edited all of this. We're gonna jump right into it. Biggest thing this month, it's December. It's one of the best months of the year. It's gonna be extremely busy the last couple of weeks of the month. We've got Christmas coming up, a lot of holidays, a lot of people traveling, so it's going to be extremely busy. A couple of things with that, there's plenty of extra holiday hours to go around. So if you're looking to grab a little bit of overtime, make a little bit extra on your paycheck in the next couple of weeks, please come talk to me or Blake about potentially working a few extra hours, sticking around for an extra shift, or anything like that. Another big thing during this time is try to pack a lunch on busier days because the food lines are going to be really long. You're still only going to get 30 minutes, especially on Sundays because the mall is going to close a little bit earlier than normal, like always. So sometimes it can be a little harder to get breaks in, especially on the busier days. So help your team leader out. If you were working on a Sunday night, especially, I would strongly recommend bringing food for your shift instead of having to go out and buy your food in the mall. Also, a couple of big goals for the month of December. We've set them pretty high, but I think that as a team, if we work together, we can definitely accomplish both of these goals. First one, we already have one setup error in this month, but I would love to finish out the month without having another setup error. So to finish December with only having one setup error would be absolutely massive. It would really show that we've been using our setup sheets and double checking our rooms and having your team leader check your room. A big change that we're going to be making for setup errors going forward. If you have a setup error in your room, me and Blake can actually go back and see if you submitted your setup sheet on the digital iPad that we have. If you did not, it's going to be a write-up. If you did and you still have a setup error, it's going to be a verbal warning from now on. We have to get back to making this into a big deal because setup errors are a big deal. They affect games to a point where potentially we have to give the team gift cards or shirts or whatever we have to do, all because we were careless with resetting a lock and didn't make sure that it was locked properly. The other big goal for December is to get 100 TripAdvisor reviews. Now that number seems really large, but I promise you it's not once you break it down into bite-sized pieces. With that being said, if we get between 3 and 4 every single day for the rest of the month, we will easily hit at least 100 TripAdvisor reviews. We have not started the month out super strong, but I think in the next couple of weeks, I think we can really pick it up and make a lot of improvement as far as reaching that goal of 100. One thing we're going to do with TripAdvisor, and this is going to go for December, we're going to see how it works, and if we like it and you guys like it, we may extend it even farther. If you get a mention on TripAdvisor, if they say, Tim was our game guide, he did an amazing job, can't wait to come back, play again, that mention is going to earn you a $10 gift card of your choice to a place in the mall, whether it be Jamba Juice, Caribou, Cold Stone, whatever you want in the mall. You can get a $10 gift card for every time you are mentioned on TripAdvisor. Now, with that being said, we still want to make sure that we are living up to our integrity standard and not asking teams to put a review with our name in it. That goes against the way that we do our TripAdvisor reviews. It goes against our integrity value, so please make sure that you are still doing your TripAdvisor reviews the normal way. But if you do get one of those mentions, then you will get a $10 gift card for every mention you get. If you get 10 mentions in the month of December, then you can get $100 in gift cards. As most of you know, we have kind of changed up how game flaws and setup errors are going to be recorded, mainly game flaws. So as you know, we have been recording things that we've never recorded before as a game flaw. The purpose of this is to help game department understand what is working in our store, what's not working in our store, what has never worked, what usually works but sometimes breaks, things like that. That way we can try to find permanent fixes for our games. And the way that they have defined a game flaw as of right now is any abnormality that takes place during a game, regardless of whether it affects the guest experience, including malfunctions, workarounds, and missing items. A setup error is now defined as any abnormality that takes place during a game, regardless of whether it affects the guest experience that is a direct result of a setup sheet misuse and or a game guide failure to follow training procedure. Also right now with game flaws, please be checking the whiteboards at your game stations. There may be things labeled on there that we need to mark as game flaw that normally you're not accustomed to marking as a game fall. So please check that out. Few items that we have not been marking as game falls but are now marking as game falls. Anytime the Heist 2 bookshelf does not open, which is usually every single game, that is being labeled as a game fall now. The result of that hopefully is going to be that is going to be a permanent fix from the game department. We're going to treat this like our phones back in the day, where they never would call into a room properly when we started recording it as game flaws, and less than a month later we got a permanent fix with the new sound system. So that is our goal with these new game flaws. So please be checking the whiteboards at your game stations for anything that you need to be marking as a game flaw or anything that is not working properly in your room.
Hey guys, Britt here, resident TL here at TEG MOA. Riley's had a very busy week with Tim and Blake being gone, and I'd like to highlight some of the things that he has recently put into the games. New game components, new game items that some of you might not be aware of. We have new books in the Heist to kind of multiply the number of books that the guests will have to look through besides just the one Monet book that they need. We have the new key turns in Heist, which are similar to the ones in Prison Break. So again, in the upright position center means it is locked. In the right position, it means it is unlocked. The corks and keys in the Heist are now one piece, solidified by epoxy, so you won't have to worry any longer about wondering which key is which in each of the games. Prison Break, the key no longer drops to the floor once they complete the maze. It is attached to this chain right here. So once somebody completes the maze, it will fall off this magnet and hang right next to the door as such, so teams are able to pry the key off of the chain and use it for the new locked book. We no longer have the dictionaries, we have these Art of War books, and it's kind of similar to before, but a little bit more hidden and a little bit more realistic with real book pages. We will be getting a new mailbox for the Prison Break Braille puzzle. It's still right at the inside lip of the mailbox, but at a little bit more of a diagonal angle, so teams are able to reach in and feel it more easily. We have a new block in the wire cutter door for Prison Break, so teams are no longer able to snip or otherwise interact with the wires that are usually next to this magnet right here. The chain for the cart in Prison Break is no longer to the left of this thing. It is now directly center, so as soon as teams get it, it will just drop straight down onto the floor. For those of you who have not seen in Gold Rush, we have a new gold way box, so teams aren't able to realize that there's a secret trap door here that drops the key as easily as they were able to figure it out before. We have shiny new lunch boxes for Gold Rush to place the canteen in. In Gold Rush, we have this very nice new bear rug that is very fuzzy. I could sleep on it. It is that comfortable. Oh yeah, that's the stuff right there. In Special Ops, we have new mesh underneath the spice racks. It is so thick that we could barely snip through it with wire cutters. So rest assured, if teams try and stick their fingers in there, they won't be able to push down on it and break it like the last couple times. Since we are in the process of updating game components, if there is anything that we've otherwise overlooked or you feel could improve guest happiness and guest experience here in the store, feel free to let us know. Let Tim or Blake or Riley know, even your team lead. But if you feel that it's worth the time and effort into, adding to even more of an epic experience for guests that come in our store, please do not hesitate to mention it to the higher ups here at TEG MOA. We'd love to get those suggestions into play.
Last but not least, I want you guys to continue to blow your guests' minds that are in your games. I want you to do everything you can to make sure that every single game that we run in the month of December is a 5-star epic experience for all of our guests, no matter what. If you have a crazy idea of something you'd like to do for a guest in your game, please let me, Blake, Riley, or your team leader know, and we will do our best to try and make it happen. That is what the escape game is all about. It's not about making money. It's not honestly even about filling our rooms with guests. It's about taking people who've never done an escape game and just blowing their mind, or people who've done a lot of escape games and just continuing to blow their minds. With the month of December, it's a really cool time because we get a lot of families coming in, playing for the Christmas holidays or New Year's, things like that. It's a really awesome time to continue to blow our guests' mind in every single thing that we do in our games or out of our games for them. So please, if you have any cool ideas or crazy ideas that you'd like to do for a guest in one of your games, please let me, Blake, Riley, or your team leader know. We'd love to try and facilitate that idea for our guests. That's really what this month is about, is just making sure that we're taking care of our guests and taking care of the people who come into our store to play our games. So let's finish out December strong. Let's have a great Christmas And then leading up into New Year's, we're going to be getting a lot of people back who are seasonal, so please welcome them back. If you've never met them, please introduce yourself. We're really excited for the next couple of weeks. Thank you guys so much for all your hard work. This is the first video, like I said, but please be on the lookout for more videos from TEG MOA. This is Tim Beisch, your General Manager. Have a good night.